Alright, first and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Harakak Wadash. The honors unto the apostles and the elders of great men, not surely do well. Peace and blessings unto the Akim, through the four corners of the world, that push this gospel in all sincerity. And with all the legends, this is Martin and family GMS at Camp West. Coming through this spirit and the power of the Lord to do a video to edify the Lord's flock. We want to bring to light, things that you maybe you have to look out for, in this fight. And one of those things is, trying to avoid, or not trying to avoid, but seeing from afar, when temptation coming to make you live after, or live in the lust of the flesh, because that is one of these things that does be a struggle for us, not being born knowing who we are, but converting from the hedonistic mindset that we once had while being in the world, to one of knowing who we are and trying to convert and trying to become a new man in this truth. That is one of these struggles, always the thoughts, and the mentality that we had in the world always, come back to, or Satan always try to bring it back to you, to test you, to tempt you. You understand? And when in the world, plenty of us used to be maybe proud, hasty in action, hasty in thoughts, speaking and saying whatever we want. And when they come into to become, you're trying to become that new man, so you pour off them old ways. You're learning new habits, trying to make it a lifestyle. And then what Satan would do is he would use these people in the world, to put spirits on these people in the world to tempt you, to see whether or not you're truly converted or not. And you have to have that humility and that patience and that wisdom to foresee it and to avoid it, and to avoid being caught in that trap. And one of the ways which one of the ways he uses is Eve, the so-called Negro woman, or the Israelite woman, or the woman on the whole. He would use these women, to tempt you to get you on your carnal side. Because as long as he have you on your carnal side, as long as he have you living carnally, he wins, because carnality leads to death. Carnality leads to death. As the scripture said, they that live after the flesh will die. But first, I want to get the scripture here. Luke 22 and verse 31. It says, "And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan had desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat." And when you're sifting wheat, what happens? You're trying to separate the wheat from the chaff. So you're examining closely to remove the chaff from the wheat. And how does that relate to us? Satan looking for those weak points. Always looking for those weak points. Always sending demons to battle you, to see if they will give in this time. And it's gonna be coming constantly. Thoughts come in your head every day. Demonic thoughts come in your head every day. It doesn't have a day where a spirit wouldn't try to influence you to do some piece of carnal thing, or some carnal thought in your head. But you have to try your best. You have to try your best as a man of the Lord to keep away from doing these things. It says, "But I have prayed," Yahweh Shai speaking, it's verse 32, it says, "But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren." And Satan tried to do the same thing with the Lord, to let the Lord think carnally. You understand? When he went to tempt the Lord after the Lord was on a 40-day fast. Just now, I'm gonna bring it. It says Matthew 4 and verse 1, it says, Then was Yahushua led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered. And when the tempter came to him, he said, If thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, It is written. But he answered and said, It is written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Most High. So the Lord sent Yahushua on a mission to do certain things. The Lord had the power. The Lord had the power to turn stone into bread, because he did perform miracles. He did turn water into wine. Yahweh sent Yahushua with specific instructions. But what Satan tried to do? Satan tried to, let ego get the better of Yahushua. Let pride get the better of Yahushua. Let him be disobedient to the Heavenly Father. But we say, he combated with scriptures. See, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone. And then he tempted him again. Using scriptures. This time he used scriptures. Verse 5, it says, Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and seated him on a pinnacle of the temple, and said unto him, If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. So he quoted a psalm. But Yahushua once again, combat that temptation through the scriptures. It said, verse 7, Yahushua said unto him, It is written again, Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy power. So in this walk, yes, you're gonna have those periods where you will be tempted, and some moments more often than not. So like no more often than not, more often than others. But the scripture in Ecclesiasticus says, when you come to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for temptation, because you will be tempted. And just like how Satan used a scripture to try to confuse or to try to trap Yahushua, the same thing gonna happen to us. People are gonna use scriptures. Didn't the scripture say that? I think that's in Corinthians. Ministers, angel of light. Second Corinthians 11 and verse 13, it says, For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Mashiach. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. So they could make themselves appear to be ministers of righteousness, but their ulterior motive is to see you fall from serving the Lord, to get you on that carnal mindset. And as I said, what he does use Eve. Eve is one of his main instruments. The weaker vessel, most of them don't fear the Lord, so their bodies are host to demons. While a demon may try to come to you and say, nah boy, he fear the Lord have a hedge around him. You know what? I'm gonna try to use. I'm gonna go to Eve. I'm gonna go to Eve and see if I may succeed. And that is what has happened. You jump on a woman, and the woman doing all sorts of shit, saying all sorts of shit just to get you to be carnal, just to get you to lose your mind, to get you to lose focus what's taking place. What the scriptures say. Ephesians 5. Ephesians 5 and verse 15. It says, "See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise." To be walking circumspectly, you're gonna. It literally means walk looking all around. But you gonna be looking out, for traps. You're gonna be looking out for snares. Because at the end of the day, that we know these tutors out here, that is all they want. They don't want us to see. Let me bring that scripture. 1 Peter 4 and 4. It says, First Peter 4 and 4, it says, "Wherein they think it strange that you run not with them to the same excess of wrath, speaking evil of you." So they would rather see you, convert or turn back, like the parable with the dog and his vomit. They would rather see you turn back from serving the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and going back to folly, going back to celebrating Christmas, and going back to celebrating his birthday, and going back to lying up, and going back to eating pork, and going back to committing adultery, and serving Jesus and serving Allah. That is what they would rather see. So if you know that, then you have to be on your P's and your Q's for the snares and the traps that are going to be laying in front of you. And as the time get closer, as the times get closer to the Lord appearance, those demons going to be ramping up themselves. They're going to be more, and they're going to become stronger. They're going to be sending more temptations your way. So that is what the scripture said in Ephesians 5 and verse 15. It says, Ephesians 5 and verse 15 again, it says, "See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore be not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit." And if you're filled with the Spirit, you not pretentiously, 10 out of 10 times you're gonna succeed in this mission. You understand? So that is what you had to be doing. You had to be looking out for these traps, trying to avoid them as best as you can. Now, never say they wouldn't have one time that you're going to fall. As a matter of fact, you're going to fall many times. You're going to fall many times, but you're not. It's best not to make the same mistake twice. Don't let one thing trap you twice. You understand? As the saying goes, I think it's fool me once, shame on you. But fool me. I think it's fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, or something. So it goes. So if a man gets fooled by the same trick question, or the same trap or snare, then he not learning. As the scripture says, A righteous man falleth 7 times. But each time you fall, you think you're gonna be. You think if you're running a race and they lay snares and traps. Say you're running a race, a marathon through let me say a forested area, and they lay snares, they lay traps, and you fall into a snare. See, anytime you fall into a snare, you lose the race. You automatically get eliminated from the race. You think if you're on the race 10 times, you're gonna fall in the same snare 10 times? No. Eventually you will learn. Eventually you will grow. You will learn, alright, there's a snare here, alright, there's a snare up there, alright, there's a trap here. You're not supposed to fall, by the same, trap more than once. But what happened in this truth? The temptation the demons become more sophisticated. So there's a lot more trickery behind it. There's a lot more guile behind it. So that is why you have to be walking circumspectly. Ask questions. Ask for counsel. Ask for help. Ask for guidance. Ask first and foremost, ask the Most High for guidance. And then ask brothers, for guidance concerning certain situations. That is the only how you may grow. Or that is one of the ways you may grow. Or that is by experience. But there's Romans. But let's read the scripture first before I jump to it. This 1 John 4 and verse 1, it says, Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. So you've seen something coming your way, examine it through the scriptures. Just like how Yahushua examine the temptation through the scriptures. Satan said, jump off this tower. Yahushua said, nah. The scripture said not to tempt the Most High. He already knew the Lord could save him. So why he going and try to tempt the Most, try to test the Most High? Like let me see if he would really do it. Nah, the scripture said, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. This is I'll just bring this last precept here. This is Romans 8 on verse 12. Verse 12. You know what I can read from? I'll just jump to verse 12. It says, Therefore, brethren, we are debtors not to the flesh, to live after the flesh. For if you live after the flesh, you shall die. But if you through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, you shall live. And there's the fruits of the Spirit, there's the fruits of the flesh. And the fruits of the flesh, which the Apostle Paul called it deeds of the body, those are unrighteous works. Works of darkness. Works of confusion. It says verse 13 again, For if you live after the flesh, you shall die. But if you through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, you shall live. And when he say you shall die here, you're not talking about, your flesh are literally dying. Like you're passing away. No, you're talking about you being spiritually dead. You not knowing, or you going back into by you leaving this truth and going back into the world, you're gonna die. Or you could say you dead. Because when the prophet Ezekiel saw the valley of dry bones, it wasn't literally speaking about skeletons walking around. No, it was talking about people that are alive but spiritually dead. So you living after the man of the flesh, you are dead. That is why Yahushua when the one of his followers asked him to go and bury their father, he said, let the dead bury their dead. Let the spiritually dead bury their dead. But you're not studying to go and bury them. You are spiritually alive. So walk after Yahushai. It says, verse 14, it says, for as many, oh, Salak, I didn't finish 13. It says, but if you through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, you shall live. For as many as are led by the Spirit of the Most High, they are the sons of power. You know? So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Harakak. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that surely do well. And peace and blessings unto the Akim through the four corners of the world, pushing this gospel in all sincerity and with all diligence. Until next time, this is Matanad from Jamashuna at Camp saying Shalom.